With the government shutdown just a day away, there's another deadline that could also have serious consequences for families. Billions of dollars in pandemic-era child care funding is set to expire, meaning millions of parents could lose a vital service. CBS's Nancy Cordes takes an in-depth look at this looming crisis.
Like many preschools, Hopkins House in Alexandria, Virginia is still bouncing back from the pandemic when it lost nearly half its staff. But the head of Hopkins House is bracing for another blow next week.
We are at the precipice of a major cliff, and unfortunately, as we look over that cliff, it's not water down that we're jumping into. All I see is hard ground.
That's because $24 billion worth of COVID-era emergency funding for the child care industry is set to expire on Saturday.
You keep our hands to ourselves. Good job.
That money went to boost salaries and add benefits in a field where workers only make, on average, $14 an hour.
We project that about 70,000 childcare providers could close.
Julie Cashin is a senior fellow at the Century Foundation, a progressive think tank, which estimates that this so-called childcare cliff could cause up to 3.2 million children to lose their spots.
First, they'll raise their prices, then they'll shut a classroom, and then they'll close.
And where do all those kids go?
That is exactly the challenge.
Congressional Democrats are pushing to extend the funding, $16 billion a year for the next 5 years.
Letting this funding expire is fiscally irresponsible.
But with Republicans still fighting over how to fund the government, a deal on this is unlikely.
We can't do everything, so the fair question is, where's the money going to come from?
Glenn Hopkins worries he'll lose more staff to a nearby Amazon operation, where they can make up to $20 an hour.
This shouldn't even be a conversation. This is about an investment in the future generation.
The investors are still on the fence. Nancy Cordes, CBS News, Washington.